Hey nerds, Jeff here. I'm gonna be showing you how to beat DS2 in under an hour. Woo. Isn't that exciting? Man. So this is gonna use a route. It's basically the same route as world record, but with some significant safety strats that make it a lot more beginner friendly. So can recommend this for people learning. First thing you'll want to do, you'll notice there's a little FPS counter in the top of my screen. That's River Tuner. You really need this to exist. If you don't have River Tuner on your FPS set to 60, there's a few things that are going to be a bit weird, like movement and stuff. And also, it's required for your run to be verified. So just make sure you get that set up. There's some people willing to help you in the Discord or guides on SRDC or whatever. The other thing, there's a cheat engine table called Baby Jump Mod. You'll want to download that from SRDC. Get that set up. You can use either settings, but I think full jump length is better. It's basically just going to mean that your CPU usage isn't going to matter when it comes to jumps. Like a community decider thing that's allowed. So yeah, let's just jump right into things. Get this tutorial on the road. I'm playing with mouse and keyboard, but it shouldn't really matter for much stuff. There's some menuing things you might want to do on a controller if you wanna learn those. Watch Sudo's Recce run, I guess they'll do optimal menuing. And other than that, yeah, let's just jump right into it. So you want to start your split on this first loading screen. At the start of the game, you can take this armor off. It's going to make your stamina regen slightly faster while running to betwixt. It probably saves you like 0.2 seconds, but it's free, so there's no reason not to do it. As long as you're while doing it's fine. You're also going to want to set auto run up. Auto run's a keyboard only thing that lets you run while you're in your menu. So to start with, we want to... a class is going to be Bandit, and a gift is going to be Bonfire Ascetic. The Ascetic is really important for the route we're going to do, and the Bandit just has a bunch of cool stuff that we want. So here, you want to do 2 heavies to break the cart, offhand, and pick up the item there. We're going to need that soul to buy a firebomb for a trick that we're going to do a bit later on. As I was saying about auto run, basically on keyboard you can press a button. It's going to just put you running instead of holding the B button or roll button. So you can use Steam Big Picture mode, I believe, to bind that to a controller button. Most runners either use the touchpad or L2. You like never parry in this run, so L2 is basically useless, so you can just rewind that. You want to jump here, take quite a safe jump. You don't save much time taking a wide line there. And again, you want to run over here and jump to the Emerald Herald. Talk to her once. While you're running away, you'll just get given the Estus Flask. You want to light this bonfire. You obviously want the Majula bonfire because we're going to be coming back to Majula a lot for leveling up and branching paths and stuff. Yeah, so run through here. And we can hotblast up here. I do it Estus, Dark Sign, Soul, then I want to use the Estus, and you want to consume the soul while you're waiting for the store. You want to have the life gem left on your hotbar. Then you run through here. Make a little jump across here. You can just run over the bridge if you don't want to do the jump, but free, so just do the jump. Just run past these guys. As long as you're sprinting when you go past them, they'll like never hit you. And you want to be sprinting when you run off this like bridge, so you regen stamina while you fall. Regen a bit of stamina on the way to the ladder. You want to be full stamina at the bottom of the ladder, so you can just hold auto run up it, turn off auto run at the top, turn it back on again, and you'll just be able to full stamina all the way here. Try and get yourself lined up flat against the fog wall. It'll make the animation faster. You can roll here if you're about to get hit. Then just run past this guy. Jump through the boxes. Run past this guy. And up here, you're going to want to do sort of like this. Walk away from him, then roll back into him. Then you can climb up the ladder unhindered. Normally, you'll probably have taken a bit of damage by this point, so I'll demonstrate assuming you have. You want to pop a life gem while talking to this NPC, buy a life gem, exit out, and light the bonfire, and this guy shouldn't interrupt you. You do it like that. Then you want to walk over here, line up flat with the wall, use the bomb, and look down. That should always work. If you want to heal, the best place to do it is about here. But you shouldn't need to because you can heal on the elevator. That'll be about full, roll through these, jump into this guy, make sure you don't stun out doing that. Then regen to full, keep sprinting, run up to this guy, do a little loop, roll into them. You can get hit as long as you aren't staggered, it's fine. Go through the fog wall. Just jump onto the elevator. You can heal again here if you want to. And you can whip your hand axe. So yeah, the last jump's quite a simple fight. You have to learn a few attacks, none of them are particularly difficult to punish. So I want to have the axe equipped and auto run on going into the fight. We'll just be sprinting. Do a running attack into 3 light attacks, walk around him. 3 light attacks. Should do a stomp. You get 2 attacks when he does on the other foot. 2 attacks again. After you've done 4 attacks, you should go into his buff, so you regen to almost full. Do another 4. Does a stomp, 2 over here. He does a backstep, you want to try and stand a bit far away from him to bait this attack. Then you can just wail on him. Then you want to immediately dark sign. If you dark sign as fast as possible, then you won't lose the souls that you're about to gain while you're dark signing. Then here, you want to equip the soul you just got, use it while talking to the NPC, buy a bright bug, key, and another bright bug. You want to talk to her. You're going to get given a ring, which gives you extra souls, which is like good because you want extra souls. And it's also going to send her back to Majula, so you can use her as an NPC later, which is good because she sells bright bugs and life gems. Jump into this guy, drop down. I unequip the axe, but it doesn't really matter. Just makes your stamina regen slightly faster, maybe saves you like 3 frames or some shit. Run up here. Run past this guy. Run past these guys and enter the pursuer. This is a very difficult fight. You're going to want to run to select the corner between this cart and barrel, roll the first attack, sprint over to the ballista, and just spam the ballista. And he'll just always die. It's completely scripted, it's completely free. This is how I menu it. You want to make sure you have the ring equipped before you get the souls. That's very important. You want to get the soul item equipped and put on your heart bar so you can pop it when we get here. So yeah, you noticed I use the soul while talking to the NPC. To do that, you want to press the interact with NPC button, hold it, press the use item button, click the yes, and then you can start mashing the NPC dialogue one. So yeah, we just light this bonfire and walk back to Majula. Tap the herald on the way to this door so that you can skip through our dialogue. Rest at the bonfire to move the blacksmith, so you can use him. Talk to her again. So this is where we're going to get the best weapon in the game, which is the rapier. We get a rapier, which is our main weapon, a mace for killing crystal lizards, and the 6 small shards so we can get our rapier to +3. Then you're going to want to run over here, talk to Melantia, and buy the last bright bug. This is a bit of a peach strat, but I think it's very safe and doesn't lose you very much time at all. Over here, regen to full. 1, 2, 3, and an R2. and then a light into a heavy. And he'll always die. Make sure you regen a bit more stamina than you need for the second cycle. Otherwise you won't quite kill him. So here, you're going to want to buy cat ring, 3 bones, 10 skulls, or as many skulls as you can get, which is usually 8. Equip the cat ring, roll into the middle, and you'll always land here. Use a life gem. You can cancel it on the falls. Use another life gem. Sprint, roll backwards. Then here you want to line this up and do a heavy attack. Pick up this homeward bone. It's just a safety bone, you don't actually need it, but it can be comfy. Run through here. You're going to attack off the edge here, walk forward, cancel a life gem here, drop down, and your life gem will still be ticking. Nice. Here, look around, roll onto this, or collapse, and you can just grab the safety bonfire. I'd recommend this safety bonfire when you're first starting out. It's quite fast to get, it's very comfy. Get really high up this bridge, then jump over here. Here's a branch that we need, and this item over here is not that one. This one's a human effigy, which we don't need, but it's very comfy. Jump back over. That jump's very easy. If you jump into the wall, it'll always push you past it, so don't worry about that. Line this up, jump over to here. Run across this bridge. Jump down to there. Line up another jump. Jump across to here. Whack this. And just walk off. If you sprint off, you'll die. You have to walk off and jump onto these parts. Roll through them. Grab the next fragrant branch. And this is where we're going to use our first bright bug. You want to use the bright bug before the fog wall, because afterwards you're going to get invaded, and that's going to stop you from using the bright bug, which is inconvenient to say the least. So yeah, just run through here. If you follow this line, you'll never get hit by the statues. Roll past these ones, because otherwise they'll hit you. And then use a branch on the statue. While you're waiting for him to unpetrify, you can equip the Soldora set, which is going to give you a lot more souls. And you can heal if you want to. You need to have the Soldora set on for basically every boss until Shrine of Winter. Otherwise you'll miss souls and you won't get the 1 mil soul memory you need. While we're here, we can put bones onto our hotbar. Get into this fight. We want to kill Rotten. You're just going to have to practice this boss. Try and hit his cleaver arm as much as possible, because when it comes off you can punish his attacks a lot better. Yeah, that's not good. If he does good attacks, you'll see. He doesn't seem to be though. Okay, so now that his arms are off, as you can see, it's very easy to strafe the attacks, and even if they do hit you, they do like no damage. So you can punish really easily. You want to usually try and attack him while he's attacking, so you get counter hits, but don't worry if you don't. So yeah, just bone after this fight. Split if you want to. We're going to burn an ascetic here. It's just slightly more optimal because we're already sat down. But yeah, the main route we're using involves killing the Rotten 4 times to get 1 million soul memory to get past the Shrine of Winter. So we need to get some ascetics so we can fight him another few times. We're going to go back to a jeweler and we're going to level up. So we want to get 14 health, 24 endurance, 1 strength, and as much dex as we can while still having at least 12,000 souls left. So in this case it's 22. It should normally be 22. 22 is pretty safe. Occasionally you can get 23. Here we want to buy the branch. We're going to need that. So yeah, with stamina in this game, you want to use auto run to get it down to a decently low amount, and let it get up to almost the full, and just rinse and repeat like this. If it goes fully out, then you have to wait a long time before you can sprint again. It's very slow. Here we're also going to want to menu our lowering skulls, and we want to pick up these life gems and bones. Mainly for the bones, but the life gems are also quite comfy. So, pull this lever. You can throw a skull into the room, and it will make it a bit safer, but if you're throwing skulls anywhere, as long as you throw 2 of them, you'll be fine. It'll be absolutely dandy. You want to make sure you kill this frog basilisk thing, so that you have enough souls for the claymore and the GPR that we're going to pick up. And you'll see where we use those in a bit. You can also menu the bow here. If you want to, you can take the Saldora set off and only equip it at the end of boss fights. Which will save you a bit of time on sprinting sections, but if you do ever miss putting it on at the end of a boss fight, it can really mess up your soul count, which can mean you can't get through Shine of Winter, so you just basically lose the run. But if you're confident with your menuing, then that's definitely a good strat to do. I'm just going to show it equipped just to show that it doesn't really matter. When I shoot this tree, that's going to cause all the guys here to de-aggro. You can unequip the bow now, you don't need it. But you can also leave it equipped, it doesn't really matter. Over here, mash through this guy's dialogue, he's got a lot. By Claymore and as many GPR as you can afford. As long as you get at least 14, you're good. And here's a safety effigy. You'll probably want that. So you want to run towards sort of this big tree over here. Walk to this small tree and then follow these 2 in a straight line. Past this one, follow these small trees to this tree. Then follow those 2 small trees in a straight line and you'll get to the bottom of the slope and nothing will aggro onto you. It's a very safe line. Might require a bit of practice because it's very easy to get lost in this area. And here we'll get the Chloranthy ring, which is going to give us a lot of stamina regen. It makes running a lot faster and it makes bosses a lot comfier. Just a good ring to have in general. Then while we're walking over here, we can also menu our GPR. It's all good. You can take the bonfire back there if you want a safety one, but Najka's not too bad, and even if you do die, the Shaded Woods bonfire isn't that far back. Forlorn can get you here, but he normally won't be an issue. If he invades you when you're talking to Vengal, he can interrupt you, but as long as you aren't setting up RTSI, he shouldn't kill you. So, this fight, jump up this little slope just a little bit faster. Sprint in. 2-hand your rapier. Heavy. Back off. Use the GPR. Block cancel so it's a bit faster. And then open with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a heavy. She does a tail swing. You do 4 for the counters. And then trying to stand here to bait tail attacks. This one's really good because it means you can get 2 full stamina bars into her. Or almost 2 full stamina bars. But yeah, this RNG should be easy peasy almost all the time. We want to replace the rapier with the mace for up here, because there is a lizard that we are really going to want to kill. So most of our upgrade materials come from crystal lizards. Specifically, we get 5 large shards from 2 lizards. If you miss either of these lizards and can't go back and try them again, your best bet is getting the Dull Emperor in Lost Bastille and going to buy them from Macduff. Which will take you a lot of time, but it's going to be faster than running all the way back and failing to kill the lizards again. It's just a good backup to know. Running past this guy, very easy. You literally just run into this corner and you'll move. Walk up here, get to full stamina around here, lock on, and then just do a running attack into a light attack, and it should be very easy. And then you can unequip the mace here just for a bit of extra stamina. You'll notice I'm offhanding, or I'm two-handing offhand a lot. That's because a lot of animations are slightly faster if you two-hand in the offhand. Item pickups are faster, entering fog walls are faster, I think lighting bonfires is faster, and entering doors on that side is faster. But depending on which way the door opens, a different hand's going to be faster. So we want to get our alluring skulls onto our hotbar here. Just run through these guys, won't be an issue. Pick up this, and we need that to get to a +10. Throw the skull somewhere not in front of the door, and these guys won't bother you. Then here we're going to want to equip our rapier and our claymore next to it. These are the two weapons we need for congregation. Then we'll want to GPR here for our first stamina regen. And when we get to our second stamina regen, we can bright bug. You don't need a bright bug for this fight, but it makes it a lot comfier, in my opinion. And then you want your alluring skull on the hotbar. So you want to run in, stand around here. As soon as this guy finishes his attack, do 3 R1s on this guy, run past, 1, 2, 3. If he lives, just do him again, and then throw a skull over there or wherever, and then run back and kill the magus. And then you swap to the claymore, because it's got a big sweeping attack, and you can use it to clear out these goons. Which is very comfy. And unequip both of these and you get the mace out. If you've lost all the health, you can life gem here. Then you're going to want to light this bonfire as safety in case you miss any of the materials that we're going to be getting here. If you do miss a chunk or large shards, your best bet is using your spare bone, warping back to the bonfire we just got, and then going again. So, from here, line up that lizard, lock on, backstep, run, heavy attack. Okay, can't recommend that. You seem to get a baby jump. Yeah, as long as that lizard... If you hit that lizard and it doesn't die, just do an R1 until die from that. Just lock on an R1. You can get those resins. They're good safeties if you think you'll need them. This lizard can be quite difficult to hit, so there's a safe-ish strat we can use. Try and push past this and lock on, then sprint, running attack into a normal attack, pick this up. You want to do a walking R1 on this guy to knock him off, pick up this item, you can just sprint off, and you won't take damage. Here's another chunk that we'll need, and then over there is the last 3 chunks that we'll get. Use an alluring skull while on the edge of this cliff. Sometimes it will push you over and it'll save you a bit of time. Grab this and then burn out. I forgot to split after Nudge cut. Doesn't really matter. And yeah, that should be congregation segment. Now we're going to go get super strong. So we want to walk back to Majula. Most of the bonfires I showed you were safety bonfires. The only one you really need is Ruined Fork Road. So here you're going to want to equip your rapier, just to save you doing it later. You're going to want to reinforce the rapier all the way up to +10. And you want to talk to Herald Yeah, I missed talking to her and rest of the bond, but that's fine. Talk to her to level up. You want to go to 21 vigor, and anything else you can put in endurance. If you would rather have more iframes than health, you can instead get 8 ADP and put the rest in endurance, but I think 21 vigor is better because it means you can survive a hit from any rotten, whereas the endurance, the ADP is only going to make it slightly easier to roll, and you shouldn't be rolling for rotten most of the time. Just run over that bit, run past this guy. Jump into this door to break the barrels. And open it. You're going to want to try and do a running attack and hit both these guys with it, and it'll kill them. If you miss one, just roll away and then kill the other one. While waiting for this guy, you can use your buff here. It lasts a very long time. You don't have to worry about it running out. Sentinels. One-handed attack to kill him. The door. Attack off here. You should be able to one-shot this guy with a one-handed R1. And this is a spare effigy if you want one. Just going to show you where the fastest effigies are. There's also an effigy just before Congregation, but you shouldn't really need more than 4. But if you do want one, there's one there. So, run into this fight, lock on, 2 hands, stop sprinting. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a heavy should kill him. 1, 2, 3, 4. You want 5 counter hits and then 1 counter R2. Those aren't counters, so you have to do just a head axe and that'll kill those. There we go, that sentinel's down. They're easy enough. And at this point we should have at least 4 bones. You might have needed to bone in Seldora, in which case you'll have 1 less, but as long as you have 4, you're A-okay. If you need spares, you could do the jump in Sentinel's room for those 3, but you shouldn't. Spares. Jump through these, attack this guy. And you're going to want to pop 1 soul here while you wait for the first gate. Run over, run past this guy and then away. That's going to cause him to blow up. While the gate opens, then pop the other soul. Then just do a running attack into this guy. Offhand, so it's faster to pick up the item. Get your bone on your hotbar. Open this door. Sprint to the middle. Line this up, sprint down. Pick up the ascetic. And then bone back. And that's the Sentinel segment over. Then we're going to do the Rotten fights. Again, for Rotten, you want to get as many hits on the cleaver arm, just to make the fight easier to punish. You can count the amount of hits for the Rotten's cleaver, but chances are if you are first starting out, you aren't going to count them properly, because it depends a lot on counters and stuff. So I wouldn't bother, just do hits in the cleaver arm, and if he opens like that, you can do an R1 into an R2. That's a bad attack. If he does that attack and doesn't follow up, you can usually only get 1 response. You can usually get 4 hits in response to that. If he backs away, do 1 attack, then back off. That should bait him into coming back into you. You want him to be attacking as much as possible so you can get counter hits. And then yeah, that's Rotten 2. Make sure you have a resin for all of these guys. Especially a gold pine resin. Charcoal pine resin is not very good on Rotten. I'll show you which fight Charcoal Pine Resin is best for, but it is passable on any boss as a backup resin, but you don't really want to be using it. You want to strafe as many attacks as possible. See, if he does a follow-up, you can get 2 hits in there. I didn't. Roll into that attack, then walk around. You can hit his cleaver arm like 3 times. Rotten's not a hard boss to do, but it is a hard boss to do fast. You're probably rolling a lot more than you need to when you first start out, and that's okay. Killing him is always going to be faster than dying to him. Okay, for Rotten 4, you're going to want to remember to use a Bright Bug for the boss. Because there's a scripted NPC invasion in this area, you have to do the Bright Bug while you're still up on this ledge, otherwise you won't be able to use it. You want to use that, run down, and then use the GPR. If he opens a grab, that's bad. You have to wait a while to do a heavy, otherwise he'll have hyper armor. And you won't do much damage. And you'll just waste stamina. This attack's not ideal. Especially because he's doing it over the fire, so I can't punish it properly. This right, this is some abnormal RNG. This what's going on here? Okay, he's finally stopped. Man, he is not. This is not good RNG, by the way. The best attack is the puke. He's probably not going to show me it because he hates me. If he does the puke, you get like 4 counters on his cleaver arm. It's pretty nuts. So that's the Rotten's done. Now you go back to Majula and get some stuff for the second half of the run. By the way, there's tutorials on like all the different segments in a playlist. I'll link it below on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna pop the Rotten Souls here before doing your level up, which is why you come over here first. You're going to want to buy all 3 Bright Bugs. I like to get 11 life gems. You can get 21 if you think you're going to need them. But we can also pick up some healing on the way. You don't want to get any more bigger if you've got 21. You can go up to 49 endurance, 25 strength, 50 dex, 8 ADP. If you're one short on getting 8 ADP, you definitely want 8 ADP. So if you can only get 7, then go down 1 on dex or endurance and get it up to 8. Because 7 does nothing, 8 does a lot. And then we're going to walk back to Ruined Fork Road. So from this point, we don't need souls for anything. We're not leveling up, we're not getting buffs or anything. So you can just unequip Soldora set and unequip this ring. And you can unequip your homing bones. None of those are going to matter. You run past that guy and he doesn't attack, that's good, because it means he probably won't interrupt you on the way here. Run past this guy. You'll have to regen a little bit, but then you can jump up these stairs and get to this faster. If that door doesn't open, that means you fucked up your souls somewhere. If you have fucked up your souls a lot and you need a backup, the best option I think is going to Dragon Rider and killing him with the cheese. But there's no good options. Here's an effigy if you want one. Just another one you can get. Those are 4 of the fastest. I think the actual fastest is the one I forgot to get at Congregation. But those are 4 really fast ones to get that I've showed you thus far. So I'm going to take a diagonal line up these stairs, because you're going to kill the guy on the other stone soldier first. Regen to full around here. Running attack into an attack. Kill him. Do a sort of loop running towards this guy. Then pull in into this little corner. Wait for one of these guys to come. Get an R2 counter hit to kill him. And then you've activated both of them. Take your time. You can kill these guys. And then you can just vibe. For menuing, you can equip the charcoal pine resin here. That's not a bad shout at all. This is a good point to effigy if you're hollow at the moment. But really, you can effigy anywhere. You can heal if you want here. Do whatever you want. Drink your tea. You want to run down this side corridor here. Get a bit of stamina because we're going to be running into this corner with this guy. Run, wait for him to do an attack, then roll through the door. The door will iframe you through the attack, so it's quite comfy. Open this door. Wait forward and open the next door. Riveting gameplay. Light this bonfire. Then this guy's going to be in your way most likely, so just do a counter heavy. Die. Then sprint over here. Do 4 light attacks on this guy. And then just back off a bit while that door opens. Over here, there's 3 old Radiant Life Gems. These are like really good healing items, and they're very fast to get. I'd highly recommend them. Another really good healing item that you'll see up here is this is an Elizabeth Mushroom. It's absolutely bonkers overpowered. Highly recommend grabbing it. Run past these guys. You want to two-hand the rapier because this door's faster with rapier out. Keep it out. This door. What I like to do is, while I'm running across this one, put the bow in the offhand. You need to have the bow in the offhand here, and you'll see why. The boss coming up, Dragon Riders, is very resistant to fire damage. They're also not very resistant, very weak to fire, but also weak to lightning, so you can use either here, but if you have CPR, this is the best boss to use it on. Then you want to two-hand your rapier in the offhand so you can keep your resin active while having the bow out. Very important. Run up, lock onto that guy, shoot him. That should bait him down. I'm going to circle around this guy and then do 1, 2, heavy, or 4 lights. You have to count the counters. I probably should have explained that better. If this guy blocks, you just have to wait for him to stop blocking. It's very annoying. Yeah, just generally strafe to the right and you're fine. Okay, you're generally fine. But yeah, you can heal after this boss. It's a good idea. Light this bonfire, just for safety. Well, you need it, but it's safer to light it now. Otherwise you can light it later. You'll see what I mean. Run up here, just open the door. Heavy will kill this guy without the resin. but running attack will kill him with it. Run over here, do 2 heavies on this guy. He should die. If he doesn't, then just do another heavy. Then you want to get your bow out and shoot this wall. The sound's going to make this guy aggro onto you faster. You want to run over here. And when he gets close, just kill him. If he gets backed off like that, then just wait for him to come in again. If he does a full combo on you, you'll get staggered into it. It shouldn't kill you if you're on full health, which is why I'd recommend being on full health here. You want to run around. Open the door. Up the ladder. If you have catwing on, you can just drop down here. So make sure you have catwing on. And then while we're still waiting for the elevator, it's a long elevator. You can rest at this bonfire. This is going to refresh your rapier durability. If you don't rest here, it's likely your rapier will break during the last boss on this section. And it's also going to regen your Estus and put you on full health and all that good stuff. That's just kind of comfy. So yeah, the only thing I need to explain that I haven't said very well. If you just wait for this elevator, it's super comfy. But you can. Oh, you want to do some menuing here. Old Radiant, Dark Sign. You want Dark Sign, then Alluring Skulls, and then last point, Bright Bug. If you're on controller, you can also discard a bunch of weapons you don't use anymore, like the Claymore and Hand Axe and stuff. At a lot of points, but since I'm on mouse and keyboard, it doesn't make any difference to menuing. To discard stuff I don't need. So I don't. I'm lazy. Dark Sign here, we don't need the souls, they don't matter. Not anymore. We're like this is the strongest we're gonna get. We're at full build here. So Mirror Knight is a completely scripted fight. There should be no RNG in Mirror Knight. I'll probably mess it up because I'm dumbass, but there shouldn't be any. Make sure you have your GPR and your hotbar. We're going to buff in the fight because it's part of the sort of script. I'll just demonstrate it and say out my attacks. And I'll explain a bit afterwards on the elevator into our mana. Sprint forward. Get to this tile on the ground and buff. Block cancel it. Do a loop around him. 2 attacks. Get on the side, do a heavy. Strafe with the shield, walk back a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can usually get 5, do a heavy. Strafe with the shield again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Should bait another one. Heavy on the side. If he's not doing the full one, you can just strafe to the side really easily. And then another 4, he'll die. As long as you get at least 4 light attacks and do the heavies on the side, he's guaranteed to do the spinny lightning one. So you wanna you want him doing that. It's good. It's the best attack. Nothing really to menu here. Get in the offhand so you can light the bonfire faster. This is a very good safety to get. It's like almost free, and you are very likely to die in our mana a few times on your first runs, so I can highly recommend it. Yeah, so just grab this, get your rapier out, get around to the middle, do an attack off the edge, and then sprint off. Pop a life gem immediately, just for safety. Jump over this gap. It's going to be faster to jump over most of the gaps in the water. That's just nice. These guys can meme you. If you run into them, they're less likely to do the poke. Archdrakes have 3 attacks you really need to worry about. They have a poke, which is almost impossible to dodge. And they have 2 different types of swings, which are both quite easy to roll. So, yeah. After this fog gate, we're actually going to equip some armor. If we have the bandit helmet, the gauntlets, and the boots, that will give us enough poise to tank one of these guys' shots and not get staggered, which is going to make this a lot safer. Just take the exact line I take. Run up this so you can do a jump over here. Jump over to here. Into this little hole. Jump over there. Run across this sort of platform. Run around the outside of this one. Run inside a bit to dodge those. Then take a wide line. Get the rapier out. Stay here. This frog's going to follow you. Or not. There is a frog that can follow you. That one. If you're worried about him, you can wait here, but if you think you're fast, you don't have to. Run over here. I'm going to do a running R1 into an R1 on this guy to kill him. Jump over to here. This is a red strat. You jump all the way over here. And then running attack into an R1 on this guy. 2 R1s on this guy. Then offhand, so you're faster on the fog gate, and just run past these guys. If they both do attacks, they'll be too slow to get you on this fog wall. But it can look quite tight, but you should be okay. This is another good safety bonfire to get, because that's a very long run to you've just been through. And you don't want to do it again. Kill these 2. Use a life gem. If you aren't on full. Just run along this edge here. It doesn't look like I'm running, but I am. Hotbar your gold pine resin. Roll through here. Offhand for the fog wall. You want to make sure you enter this fog gate on the further side. Otherwise, Peculiar Kindler is going to hit you. And you want to sprint over to this boss. Use a resin at the start of the fight. Block cancel to make it stop faster. 2 heavies as he opens. Or 1 heavy if you don't feel safe with 2. You can get at least 5 on every attack, you can normally get 6. Again, when he opens, do 1. Roll to the side. You get in this little nook, will cancel the last 2 attacks. So you can just punish a lot easier. And then, yeah. You want to get him in 2 cycles, ideally. That's the goal. So, yeah. Make sure you have a bit of health here, because this guy can beam you. So you want to be able to tank out at least 2 hits, ideally. Run up the further side, show your resin still active. When you reach around this point, lock on, running attack, R2, R2. You'll always die. Sometimes you won't get full damage on the first attack, in which case just do the 2 R2s and then regen a bit of stamina and do another attack. You should be fine if you have a decent bit of health. So my throat's really dry. You want to equip a bow here? You can heal up. If you have life gems to spare. You can unequip the armor, you don't need it anymore. You can unequip the armor any point after the second fog wall. But you know, if you aren't comfortable with menuing while you're running through enemies, then don't. This is a good safety bonfire because it's like right on the path, and you don't have to do Armana again. And you can die in Crypt. Crypt isn't too bad, but there are 1 or 2 areas you can die in. If this guy does this attack, it's kind of a meme. You just have to bait another one and then run past him. Lock onto the shield guy. Shoot him 3 times with the bow. And he'll let you past. Run off here just for a bit of extra stamina regen. I like this line where you roll through the urn, but if you have full health, you should be more than fine in that room. Taking any line. Coming up here, there's a room with a lot of rocks in it. We take a kind of specific line to get through the rocks optimally. So you might want to make a save state here and practice it, but it's not too bad. just run through like this. You do need to break one of the rocks. That one in particular. Up here. Make sure you have the bow equipped. We're going to do a weird trick with the bow here. So you want to run up to around this point, and then you want to aim just above this guy's head, shoot it, and it'll make him turn around. And you can just run straight through, and that's really comfy. I would always aim too high rather than too low. If you hit him, then he's going to be locked in place, and you're not going to be able to get past until you hit them a bunch of times. It's really annoying. If you hit too high, you can just shoot again, a bit lower. Try again. On the way here, we want to get to around this point. We're on low stamina and GPR. And then we want to get the bow equipped and put the... Not the bow equipped, just offhand equipped. And put the bright bug in our main hand. Hold escape going into here so you can see the cutscene. Two-hand the rapier. Use the bright bug. Should be good. Roll through that attack if he does it. And then strafe away and you can get 2 hits in. You want to get combination of 2 hits and 3 hits on this guy. And then when he does his 3rd attack, you just wail on him. So you can get as much damage in before he buffs. I got kind of bad RNG there, so I couldn't wail on him much before the buff. If you aren't going to be able to kill him before the buff, stand behind him. Roll through this attack, and then roll through that one. And then the fight's basically just the same. Strafe this to the side. You can strafe most attacks to the right. It's only the one-handed swing that you really need to roll through. So just be mindful of that. You can jump off these stairs, it's slightly faster. Get the Dark Sign equipped. Make sure you pick up this ring, and then Dark Sign out. I've not been splitting, have I? Damn. Just roll forward, and we'll walk back to Ruined Fork Road. We're actually going to get the red tier stone ring here. If you've ever watched the world record, or any really top level run, you'll notice they get RTSR a lot earlier. It is slightly faster, it saves about a minute over the course of the whole early game, but it does make the run a lot more difficult. So you want to equip King's Ring in the empty slot, and we'll equip RTSR in a minute. You want to roll past this guy, then jump over here, grab it, get the rapier out, run past this guy again. You'll see why in a minute. So we're going to need to do a dynamic RTSR setup here. RTSR is very important for the upcoming boss. You'll understand in a minute. So the door will open because you've got the ring equipped. Now you just want to tank a bunch of hits from this guy until you're in RTSR range. I didn't mean to parry there, but okay. Meant to block. If you have RTSR equipped, you'll actually be able to see when you're in range, so I can recommend that. So then equip RTSR. Boom. That was your ankle. We're actually not going to use Rapier for the upcoming fight. Rapier's slightly better damage-wise, but we're actually going to use the key because it does good damage and it's got a slightly better moveset for Guardian Dragon. Guardian Dragon is a completely scripted fight, or almost completely scripted. It's exhaustive. Run through these toes. But it basically means we want to get 3 hits on his head at the start, and the overhead moveset of the key makes that very easy. Just jump off this bone, and you'll get up here. That saves about 15 seconds compared to running up the stairs. The item in front of that basilisk is a healing item. You can get it if you're really short on healing, but you shouldn't need it with the amount of life gems and stuff we're picking up. There's going to be 2 doors with ogres in them here. We're going to want to buff at each door, just to be more optimal. So run to the side here, walk kind of into this pot and use a GPR, and you'll never get hit. And then roll twice while he's doing the... There'll be a bit of like a stagger, so you want to roll during that. And then here you want to bright bug. I did it a bit late there, but as you can see, you don't need to... Okay, don't bright bug late. So you want to enter on the far side. Where I do it is I walk straight forward about 7 steps, so I'm on this patch here. Look up, lock on. 3 light attacks on the head. Walk slightly to the side 3 turns. Then do 4 heavy attacks. And he'll always die before he has a chance to fly. If he flies, it's really bad news. I would honestly consider Estusing or Old Agenting, because you're in for a long fight. And the RTSR isn't going to save you much. But if you do have RTSR for the whole fight, then it'll save you a lot of time. We don't need RTSR here, so we can use the Monastery Charm to heal up on this elevator. This is a good point to use any slower healing items you picked up, like the Smooth Silky Stone as well. Also good. We want Rapier in that hand, Bow in the other hand, and replace RTSR with Catring. Because we're not going to be killing anything here. There's 2 different safety bonfires you can take up here. One of them is slightly faster to get, the other one's slightly faster if you die. So just weigh up, do you think you're going to die here? If so, get the second bonfire. If you don't, but you might, get the first bonfire. It doesn't really matter. It's like 2 seconds slower to get the second one. That saves like 20 seconds if you die. But I personally got the first one. So grab that and then go up this ladder. Fun fact, while you're on the zip line, if you start sprinting, you speed up, as you can see here. And then stop sprinting and backstep to get off it. You want to jump into this bridge, then you want to roll, regening a bit of stamina between the rolls. I like to roll, 2 footsteps, roll, 2 footsteps, roll, 2 footsteps. And that way you're going to be moving quite fast while being full stamina at the end. Regen to full here. I want to one-hand the rapier, see why. Run around the outside of this guy, it's safer. I want to be about this much stamina because we're going to attack the wall. This is going to aggro this guy. Wait until you're on full stamina, he's moved a bit. Just roll his first attack and run to the door. That door's faster with bow equipped, but the second door's faster with rapier equipped. But if you're getting every door in the game in the wrong hand, you're maybe losing like 5 seconds. I wouldn't stress about it too much. Get the bow back equipped, you'll need it soon. And get the dark sign on your hotbar. Just strafe this guy really far so he doesn't hit you. Run past this guy and regen to a bit of stamina. Sort of run towards the middle, and then jump past these 2. Make sure you're on full health. These guys can hit you, but if you're on full health, they shouldn't be able to kill you. Run into about this point in the circle, and then dark sign while talking. Make sure you mash through the text so you get this item before you walk. If you don't mash the text, you won't get the item, and then you're going to have to run all the way back through it. So now we're going to go back to the Forest of Fallen Giants, and we're going to do a skip called the Giant Lord Jump. Do you want to run forward, throw an alluring skull on the ground, so line your feet up with this foot on the floor, backstep after doing a gesture, line up like that, backstep, jump at the last minute, land, and then while you're entering this cutscene, you can use the Estus. I don't think I did it there, but you can, and it'll heal you up a bit. As long as you're not on RTSR range, you don't need to worry too much in this area. But the guys on the way can meme you, which is why you don't want to be in RTSR range. This fight is faster with RTSR, so it's something you can consider doing. And if you want RTSR, just don't have Catring equipped for the jump. Like a perfect setup. I'm going to run into this little cobby, block cancel, forward swaves him, backstep while locked on, run forward, unleash a volley of attacks. He does a stomp, come around here. You're going to be standing behind this leg. You should do this attack, and then you stand in front of this leg to dodge it. Stand behind this leg, walk forwards, dodge it. And then just dark sign out again. And now we're going to come up to the last boss of the game. or last bosses during the Shendel. There's two options here. You can either use an older agent, or you can use the Elizabeth mushroom. If you haven't run this category before, I would recommend the Elizabeth mushroom, in which case have the cat ring on when you do this jump. If you use older agent, take the cat ring off so you take a bit of damage. And because Elizabeth mushrooms heal you while you're at full health, you don't need to go into the fight with low health if you use the mushroom, but if you use the agent, you will need to go into the fight with low health. The general gist of things. So, get the, you want to resin first, because we want our bright bugs to last us for both bosses. If it doesn't last all the way through Nash, that's fine, but you really want it for duo, because you really want that defense. They can hit you hard and a lot. Like to bright bug as late as possible. And have the Elizabeth mushroom on your hotbar, and unequip the, though it doesn't make a difference. So, walk in, lock on, use the mushroom as soon as possible, walk up to the side, get Duo behind defender, look down to dodge these attacks, and just wail on him, and you'll get a bunch of hits in at the start, and it's really comfy. If he buffs, then that's great, because you can punish him, and once defender's down, just lock onto Watcher. You want to block a lot of attacks, but if you have the mushroom healing still, which you should, you can really just tank everything, it's fine. Yeah, blocking is very effective on Watcher. You can also roll into stuff. If she runs away to buff, then punish that and get them down. For Nash, you'll probably want... There is a one-cycle Nash you can do using Rapier or Key, but it's kind of tight, so I'll just demonstrate with the life gems. So just empty your stamina bar into Nash at the start. Back up. Use a life gem around this point to bait the beam. And then sprint in and empty your stamina bar again. Her hitbox is kind of janky if you're using Rapier, so be careful about that. Back up, life gem will bait the beam. Come back in again. And she should die. You want to make sure you use a life gem as she's finishing her attack, so that you're more likely to get the beam. And then, yeah, timing will stop. Yeah. And we got a 59:28, which is not a bad time by any stretch of the imagination. There's a lot of safety strats in this run. I made a few mistakes as well that lost me a bit of time. So you should be able to. You'll have to use quite good lines to get stuff out with all these strats, but it's a very good place to start with running the game. I can highly recommend it. But yeah, just this is the route I'd recommend for learning. Other learning resources. speedsouls Discord server. Ask people stuff. They're usually happy to help. I have a tutorial playlist that covers like everything in here and more in a lot more detail. There'll be notes in the description. These are just going to be like route notes and stuff, but they can be helpful. There's a few backups listed there. And I'd say speedsouls worky, but it's kind of shit for DS2, so don't bother. But yeah, you can find me on Twitch. That's cool. And yeah, that's how you beat DS2 Skull off the first sin in under an hour. The easiest way to do it, in my opinion. So yeah, good luck, and enjoy your Dark Souls 2, or try to. Can be difficult sometimes. Au revoir.